Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Shalom, Israel. You are on live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer War coming to y'all live from Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday here in Memphis, we have classes from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. The address to the school here in Memphis is 3000 Walnut Grove Road, Suite 215. Again, 3000 Walnut Grove Road, Suite 215. Calling number to the school here in Memphis is 901-249-0085. Again, 901-249-0085. Here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we have been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth according to the Bible? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians descend from the greatest men or the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the year 2023, there is nothing more important than for God's chosen people to find out the truth of who they are, where they come from, and what their purpose is on the earth. What we like to do with these classes every week is give brothers and sisters an opportunity to go into this book called the Bible to gain the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that is found inside of that book in order to facilitate us coming back to being the people that God called us to be and taking our rightful place on the earth as kings, priests, princesses, and daughters of Zion. We are living in a time where the evidence that what has been being taught in these classes in ISUPK since 1969 is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, according to the word of the Most High, is going to be made manifest, man. I'm thankful to the Lord that in 2010 I was blessed to be able to gain access to this knowledge, gain access to the men who the Lord had preserved because of their diligence, because of their honor, because of their integrity, uh, holding on to this truth so that I would have an opportunity to receive it and apply it to my life and change my life. Last 13 years have been truly amazing for me. And some of the things that are unfolding in the world right now, with the war going on over there in Israel, with the civil unrest that's brewing here in America with Donald Trump and the Republicans and the Democrats, with wars and rumors of wars being spoken of in other regions and other areas across the world. We are truly living in the days of biblical prophecy. And that's something that in the ISUPK we've known and been saying for years, and we've been living it. But for it to be so prevalent and obvious for everybody else to see, definitely lends credence to uh, our faith and our uh, willingness to serve the Most High under the most, scrutinizable conditions. It's just, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, having said that, tonight's class is going to be about hoes, hoes and bitches, dishonorable women, sluts and skanks and cheaters, and um, while the world is going to war and the world, all these other nations are focused on, major global uh, issues. God's chosen people here in America, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, can't stop talking about hoes. Keep seeing Jada Pinkett all over the goddamn internet. She's doing interviews. She wrote a book. She talking about she loved Tupac and missed Tupac. Keep seeing Blueface's baby mama, Krishana, all over the internet. She got that baby. She treating that baby any kind of way. Got that baby in the street. She doing music videos and songs, rapping about leaving Blueface. Sexyy Redd dropped a sex tape that I heard was disgusting and horrible. You got Sukihana and just all of these dishonorable, disloyal, disgusting Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women are being portrayed all on the media. And while everybody's going to war, black people just keep talking about hoes. So I want to take some time tonight to talk about these hoes and show you what the Bible says about these hoes. And what I find funny about all of the social media, right, with all of the talk about Jada Pinkett and, Blueface baby mama and the Sexyy Redd, is this, I don't want to call it Hollywood culture, but the celebrity culture in the black community would have you to believe that these people that they highlight and they promote in front of us are unique special cases and unique special situations. They show us Jada Pinkett and Will Smith relationship, and it's like, oh man, Jada Pinkett taking Will Smith through the ringer. Man, it's so sad what she doing to that brother and why she got him crashing out. Will Smith smacking people. She sit him down at the red table to talk about her affair. She go on interviews and talk about how much she loved Tupac and wish he never died and would have never chose Will Smith. Well, I'm going to show you tonight that Jada Pinkett is not special or unique. Will Smith is not special or unique in the suffering that he has endured trying to be with this woman. There's a spirit that exists in a lot of women in our community, and it dates back to, not dates back, but you can source the origins of this type of spirit back to the Bible. So tonight we're going to talk about Jezebel, right? But not just talk about Jezebel in terms of the story of Jezebel, but talk about what lied at the core of Jezebel and what it was that she truly was after and all of her evil ambitions. You understand? So that's what tonight's class is going to be about. We're going to talk about hoes because the world wants to talk about hoes. And I want Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men to understand that these hoes are not special. The hoes you're seeing on the internet are not special. The hoes you seeing highlighted in celebrity culture not special. The hoes that you deal with on the day, that hoe you was in a relationship with, however long ago you broke up with, she was not special. The hoe you with now, she's not special. You understand? Some of you brothers blessed to have a woman. You got a wife, a lady. But the majority of y'all are dealing with hoes, and we're going to talk about what lies at the core of hoes tonight. All right, so the topic of tonight's class is going to be understanding Jezebel. I put in parentheses hoes. All right, so if you want to understand sister tripping, you want to understand Jezebel, you want to know what's really going on with women today. You want to know why you keep having problems and issues with the type of women you encountering. This class is for you. All right. First scripture we're going to go to is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 26. All right. This is written, book of Ecclesiastes was written by King Solomon. This was a brother who was rich and wealthy, and because of his riches and his wealth was able to dedicate a certain period of his life to trying to, understand or find his purpose in the world. This brother being rich and wealthy and wise, he had everything at his disposal. And with all the things that Solomon had at his disposal, he went to search out the key to life or the whole point of existence on this earth. Well, for a certain period of his time, King Solomon was famous for all of his exploits with women. King Solomon is a brother that's famous in the Bible for having 300 wives and 400 concubines or whatever the number was. This is a brother that got some women, dealt with some women, and he understood women. And we're going to read out of the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26. Solomon tried to give brothers some game concerning some of these women that's out here. And this ain't all women. This is a certain kind of woman. Everybody understand? It's a certain kind of woman that, brother, these women come a dime a dozen. This type of woman is everywhere. This type of woman is, you're going to meet on the internet, on the dating site. You're going to meet her at the bar, in the club. You're going to meet her in the grocery store, shopping, getting her groceries. You're going to meet her on the bus, on the train. This type of woman, you can find her everywhere. And for brothers who have been through it and who understand, what Solomon is about to explain to you is going to hit home. Solomon is about to describe Jada Pinkett. He's about to describe Sukihana and Sexyy Redd. He's about to describe Krishana. which is Blueface's baby mama. He's about to describe your ex-girlfriend. He about to describe the woman that you lay in bed with now. He about to describe the woman who you're going to call this Friday night after you leave the bar or leave the club or after you've been hanging with the brothers and had a drink, because she's there waiting for you to receive you. A lot of you brothers, this is your woman. All right, Solomon's about to describe it. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 7. We're going to start at verse 25. He said, I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. He wanted to search for all the things that are available to a man on the earth. He sought out wisdom, wanted to know the reason of things. Why do people do what they do? He wanted to know the wickedness of folly. Like, why would you choose to do something so foolish? Why would you choose to do something so evil in your free time? Why do you think evil is fun? You understand? Even the foolishness of madness, things that people do, and you would look at it and say, man, they insane for that. Right. Why would you do that, brother? Why would you choose this for your life? And here's a conclusion he came to. Verse 26, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleases God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken from her. You understand? There's something in this life that's more bitter than death. There's something in this life that's worse than dying, worse than losing a loved one, worse than having somebody who you hold near and dear die and leave you on this earth. And too many of us have experienced what it is like to lose someone that we love and care about, whether it's a parent, a sibling, a best friend. A lot of us brothers, man, a lot of us sisters growing up in the neighborhood, growing up in the hood, we've lost people we care about. You understand? I think about all the brothers I know, who died as I was growing up, and I think about their mothers. Think about their brothers and their sisters. I think about a lot of these sisters out here. There are a ton of black women who had a boyfriend, some guy that they were madly in love with, some guy that they hung out with and slept with, and he would come pick them up and take them shopping and do nice things. One day they got the call that he got killed. He got shot and he was dead, and no longer is she ever going to be able to see him or talk to him or speak to him. I think about all those people who we know who have dealt with the trauma of just losing someone we cared about. And there's something that is worse than that, something more bitter than that. And that is the woman whose heart is snares and nets. What is a snare and a net? A snare and a net is something that you trap someone with. A snare literally translates to a trap. A net is something you catch somebody with and they cannot get away. They cannot escape. Well, there are women out here that all that's in their mind, all that they think about is how can they trap some man? How can they capture him in a net? Get him bound in something that he cannot escape from. And her hands as bands. Their hand is like handcuffs. What does that mean? That woman, you grab that woman by the hand. You call her your lady. You make her your girl. You lock her down. Brother, you are now in prison. You are now in jail. And these women on the inside are more bitter than death. That's Jada Pinkett. That's Sexyy Redd and Sukihana. That's Krishana and Steve Harvey's ex-wife. There are women out here who are living for nothing other than to ruin some brother's life. But why? Why are they so bitter? Why do they want to ruin your life? Why do they want to trap you? Why do they want you to be bound and destroyed and to steal your strength and to steal your power and to steal your manhood? That's what we're going to find out tonight. But there are women who are more bitter than death. Now, a lot of people look at Jada Pinkett and they say, man, that's crazy, man. What she keep doing to Will Smith, man. How she abusing his brother and taking advantage of his brother. All I see when I look at Jada Pinkett is every whore I've ever known in my life. People act like Jada Pinkett is special. There's a million Jada Pinketts in the world. How many brothers, how many men do you know are in relationships with women who regularly cheat on them? How many of you brothers, a lot of you brothers out there, you think Jada Pinkett is special. But what man is in your woman's past that she can't stop thinking about? Right. How many of you brothers have a woman who had a boyfriend when she was 17, 16, 19 years old? He got murdered. He got shot. He got thrown away in prison for 25 years to life. And she think about him every day. Right. Every day she think about old Craig. He locked down in that prison. What if he would have just stayed home that day? What if he didn't go hit that block? How much different could my life have been? She waking up every day next to you, but she's thinking about this cat who got shot when she was 17 years old. He just left her house. They just finished having sex. He told her he was going to the store. He was going to be back. He went to the store and got shot. Never made it back home. She think about that cat every day. Every time you fight with her, every time y'all argue, all she think about is what could have been, what would have been. If only he was still alive. If only he didn't get shot on that block. If only he would have dumped that pack and not gotten locked up. A lot of you brothers don't understand what is going on inside of the hearts and the minds of these women because you don't take the time to understand them. You don't take the time to truly get to know your woman and to find out what is lurking in the dark recesses of her mind. What is going on in her mind when she just sits there and she stares off into nowhere. You find your woman sitting there, she's staring at you. You look at her and she's just looking. You look away, you look back at her and she's still just sitting there looking. You wondering what the hell's going on inside of her mind. She's thinking about that nigga that she could have been with. If only, if only. You understand? And because of that past, because of that trauma, because of all of the people and all the things and all of the situations and circumstances that she's been forced to deal with in life because of decisions that she made that she can't let go of, all she can think about is how she's going to get over on the next person. And this is what I mean, right? Again, Jada Pinkett is not unusual. She's very average in her behavior and her actions towards Will Smith. But how many women feel like they've been dealt a bad hand or life has done them wrong somehow? And their only way of rectifying the wrong that's been done to them is to get back at the world. Maybe you brothers haven't experienced that, but I have experienced too many women that are damaged in that way, and that life has never been fair to them. It's never been right. And because it's never been fair to them and it's never been right, their only recourse of action is to get back at the world. But how do women get back at the world? They can't affect the world. They can't do really anything about their life and their situations. The next best course of action she has is to destroy some man. A lot of women have been through horrible, traumatic, tragic experiences. If they don't get counseling, if they don't go see the doctor and get some help, if they don't find someone to talk to and work through their trauma and work through the pain that they've gone through, all they know how to do is take that pain out on the next person. A lot of you brothers, you think that this woman hates you or doesn't care about you or wants to destroy you. Really, brother, you're just the next person who was in line. If it wasn't you, it would have been the other guy. If it wasn't another guy, it would have been her children. If it wasn't her children, it would have been her mother. It would have been her father. It would have been her sisters, her brothers, her best friend, her cousin, her auntie, her nephew, her niece. There are a lot of women who are hurt and damaged, and the only way they know how to get any kind of justice is to take it out on someone else. Take it out on the next person. Right. A lot of you brothers don't take the time to talk to these women to find out why are they so angry? Why are they so miserable? You meet a woman, and all you know is that she's single. Because she's single, that means you can have sex with her. But you don't take the time to find out why is she single. Mm-hmm. She looked good. She got a nice job. You know what I'm saying? She smells good. She likes you, which is most important to most of you brothers. She likes you, smile in your face, want to get with you. And you just so happy that somebody wants you. You don't take time to wonder, to find out, why is this woman single in the first place? Right. If she pretty, she got a good job, she's smart, she ain't got no kids, how come don't nobody want this broad? What is it about her that makes her undesirable? She's throwing herself at me, and I don't know why. I know I look pretty good. I know I'm a pretty handsome dude. I know I got some swag about me. I know I make a woman want to get with me. But why this one? What is she seeing me that makes her want to be all over me this way? What is she seeing me that make her think that I'm the one that she should be choosing on? A lot of you brothers don't ever take the time to discover what that is inside of that woman. A lot of the times, some of the times, that woman, there's something inside of her that sees, this is a nigga that we can trap. This is a man that we can snare. Girl, once I get my hands on him, he gonna be wrapped around my finger. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 7:26 that I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and traps and her hands as bands. She know once I get my hands on him, I'm gonna lock that nigga down. How many women say to themselves, once I put this vagina on him, he ain't gonna go nowhere. Once I get him in that bedroom, girl, he ain't gonna want to do nothing else. And how many women are horribly wrong about that? We're going to get to this core of what is inside of the mind and the heart of a whore. And the Bible is going to lay it out to us, all right? Reading the end of Ecclesiastes 7:26. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken from her. There are some women, the only way you're going to escape her is if you please God. The only way that you are going to get free from this kind of woman is if the Most High is with you. But the majority of brothers, they're sinners, which is why they're taken by women like this. I don't feel bad for Will Smith at all. A lot of y'all look at the internet and y'all look at what Jada Pinkett doing and y'all say, oh man, Will Smith is, damn, I feel bad for Will Smith. I don't feel bad for Will Smith at all. You want to know why? Because Will Smith chased Jada Pinkett down and forced her to be with him. Will Smith was never the type of man that Jada Pinkett would have wanted. Why? Because Will Smith was a good, caring, and understanding kind of guy. And really, the good, caring, and understanding kind of guy is really a front. The good, caring, and understanding kind of guy like Will Smith that hunts down a woman like Jada Pinkett and marries her goes and buys prostitutes on the weekend. He does not give her the necessary leadership and guidance. He doesn't rule over her the way that she desires to be ruled over. He doesn't, not care about what she thinks or what she feels the way that she needs a man to do. A man like Will Smith does all the catering and all the emotional support and all the I love yous and baby, you can have it your ways, because on the weekend he's going to go buy prostitutes. He thinks it's honorable to have married a woman like Jada Pinkett, regardless of if he goes and buys prostitutes, because baby, what do you want from me? I made you a wife. I gave you some kids. I'm a superstar movie guy and you're my wife and you should just be happy. And that is why she cheats with August Alsina. That is why she can't stop thinking about Tupac Shakur. That is why every chance she gets, she is going to drag him and embarrass him and shame him because he's a sinner. You understand? It's because he's a sinner. Will Smith deserves everything he gets because he chose that bitch. Y'all want to look at Jada Pinkett Smith and think she's some special kind of evil? She's some special kind of wicked? No, no. She is, but she's right for the man that chose her. Everybody understands? Um, let's drop that. Let's drop Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 25 and 26. Okay, hold on. That is not it. Hold on. All right. We're going to find Jezebel here in the Bible. Let's see something. Oh. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. We're not gonna go to Jezebel just yet. We're not going to Jezebel. We're gonna go back to the forefathers of Israel, the patriarchs, right? We're gonna go back to a brother named Judah. Ah, hold on. Hold on. It's in the book of Genesis. Let me see something. Book of Genesis, chapter, I want to say, let me see something. Hold on. All right, hold on. It might not be Genesis. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Bear with me, y'all. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. It's Judah 30. Let's get Genesis 38. Let's get Genesis 38, right? Hmm. Yeah. 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 Hold up. All right, this is yeah. It's Genesis chapter 38. Um, verse 6. All right. All right. Understand this. This is the Bible tells you the backstory of gives you insight into the backstory of a woman's wickedness, right? A woman is unable to be wicked without a man's being an accomplice. So for all these hoes and all these sluts and all of these trifling ass women that's out here, they could not be the way they are if there wasn't some man willing to join them in their wickedness. Jada Pinkett would just be just some lonely, sad hoe if there wasn't a Will Smith who wanted to wife her, or August Alsina who wanted to have sex with her while she's married to Will Smith. You understand? Steve Harvey's ex-wife couldn't that be a gold-digging whore who just has sex with rich, wealthy men, marries them and divorces them and takes all their money if these rich, wealthy men weren't trying to have sex with her because she's beautiful? Krishana wouldn't, Blueface's baby mama wouldn't have been able to have a baby and go be a whore and tramp around and run around with all fame and horrible attention if there wasn't a Blueface who made her to be the whore that she was. You understand what I'm saying? Sexyy Redd and Sukihana would just be women whose music we didn't pay attention to or listen to if it wasn't for everybody loving whores and sluts and wanting to take women to Pound Town. Everybody understands? So again, this doesn't excuse the wickedness of a woman or the evil of a woman, but just know, whatever that woman did to you, it's because you allowed her to do it. You opened yourself up to it. You chased her down, you invited her in, you let her choose you. If you wasn't out there chasing her, and you let her come to you and say, "Hey, Big Daddy, what's going on?" And you say, "Oh, yeah, it was good, baby." And you get exactly what's coming to you. There is no sympathy or no sadness or no feeling bad for a brother who gets with a woman that he chooses for himself. You wanted that broad. You got her, now deal with it. Nobody gonna feel bad for you, my nigga. Ain't nobody gonna be sad for you. Is it unfortunate what's happening? Yeah. Is it? Damn, man, I feel for that brother. Yeah, but at the same time, hey, that nigga did it to himself. He could have chose better. He could have chose different. All the women out here, he chose the one that's gonna do this to him. Hey, man, that's his business. Lord be with him. But can't no woman do to you. She can only do to you what you allow her to do. And if you're going to be a rest haven for a whore, then you deserve exactly what comes with it. You want to be a Captain Save a hoe? You want to save all of these broken women? Oh, nobody's ever loved her. She never had a good man. She never had nobody to care about her past and care about her trauma. Okay, good luck with that, brother. So you're the one. All the men she done had sex with, all the men that threw her away, all the men that used her mouth and then they didn't want to talk to her no more. But you're the one. You're the special guy who loves her and you're going to save her and deliver her from all of her evil and all of her demons. All right, good luck. Lord be with you. Go battle it out. Go fight with her and her demons. Go fight with all of the spirits of ex-boyfriends and the men that got away and the brother that died and the one that went to prison. You go ahead and fight the spirit of all of those men inside of that woman, and Lord be with you. But that is what you are signing up for when you go and you choose any woman. In the world, in the truth, all of these women got a background. All these women got a past. And if you think that putting your penis in her means that past is not going to resurface, you are playing yourself. You are clowning yourself. Who knows the unimaginable, unspeakable horrors that dwell in some of these women's past? But all of them have one, brother. And if you don't take the time to find out exactly what it is that she's hiding and exactly what it is that she thinks about every second of every day, then you're putting yourself in danger. And don't think that you'll never be Will Smith. Don't think that you'll never be Blueface. Don't think that you'll be, the victim of a Sukihana and a Sexyy Redd. The reality is all of us are and have been. We just don't talk about it. We act like, yeah, man, hoes ain't nothing, man. Fuck a hoe. Bitch ain't shit. That hoe fell off, man. Yeah, I got a new wife. All right. You're playing yourself. And it's not necessary. Right. Let's read Genesis chapter 38. We're going to get the backstory of a whore in the Bible. We're going to find out what's in the background of a whore and what she went through to make her be this way and what length she was willing to go to make some man pay or make some man suffer for something wrong that she endured. Everybody understand? Genesis chapter 38, verse 6. And Judah took a wife for Er, his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. Judah had a son named Er. He found a woman for his son to marry. Made a deal with her father, paid a dowry. This woman was betrothed to be married to Judah's son. And Er, Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord and the Lord slew him. This brother died. And this woman's husband, or the man she was with, he passed away. They were young. This wasn't no old man. She wasn't an old woman. This brother passed away and died. This is a woman who loses her man at 17 and 16 and 18 years old. He on the block, he hustling, he doing his thing, he trying to get money. He dies in his youth. Right? Let's see if she ever gets over this man. Let's see if her life gets better after that man she loved so much in her younger days passes away abruptly. Verse 7, verse 8, and Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. So the son died. Tamar is a widow. The custom in our family was if your brother dies before he has children, then you marry his wife and you raise up a child and name him after your brother. Let that child live in the place of your brother who died with no children. And that was what Onan was supposed to do. He married Tamar. He went in unto her. He had sex with her. This is his woman now. Verse 9, and Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass when he went in unto his brother's wife that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. This brother, Onan, was a selfish bastard. He was an evil nigga. He didn't want to raise up seed to his brother. He didn't want to create an heir for his brother to take the place of his brother. Why? Because maybe he selfishly wanted the place for himself. My brother dead. That means I'm the next in line. I'm the one to get the inheritance. If I raise up a son for my brother, he'll take the place of my brother. He'll be the one to get the inheritance. Onan, for whatever reason, was an evil bastard and did not want to raise up seed for his brother. So he went and had sex with his brother's widow, made her his woman. And instead of ejaculating inside of her and making a baby, he pulled out. Come on with it.
How you saying? Did he only have one time to do this? Because you can have more than one time, or is it that the Lord knew his heart and like he don't want to do this and kill him? You know what I mean? Like,
okay, this was not one time. Tamar was to be his wife now.
Okay.
This wasn't just gonna have sex with her one time. This is your woman. Onan, your brother died. His wife is a widow. Go make her your wife and raise up a child in honor of your brother.
Okay.
He did not want to raise up a child in honor of his brother, so he did not.
So every time he just put out.
Well, this speaking about the one time.
Okay, got you.
Or the first time.
Okay, got you.
But it was never in his plans to make a baby with her.
Damn.
So they're having sex, and she's expecting. She knows what the tradition is. She's expecting him to get her pregnant. Mm-hmm. He's not getting her pregnant. You understand? Verse 10, and the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. So the Lord killed Onan too. And here's a woman, has had two men in her life having sex. Both of them have died. How many women do you know had men she was having sex with in her youth that got killed, got murdered in the streets? How many women have dead bodies in their in the history of their vagina? I know some women been having sex since they was 13 years old. And I know some of them women was in love with men who I know got murdered. And I sometimes think about where those were, 13 was a long time ago. Yeah. But we continue to live on. But those brothers was dead. I think about the times that I remember with some of my partners, man, hanging out and fun times we had as kids. But the women that had sex with them got to think about the times that they had sex with them. And the moments that they shared, and that man is dead. That man is gone. How do you think that affects their view of reality or their view of men? How many women go from man to man, never being able to find somebody that they can be happy with or they can be satisfied with, and all they do is think about that guy that got away when they were 13? or that guy they fell in love with in high school when they were 17, he was selling drugs and had money and would buy them stuff. And then one day she found the news that he got shot on the block and he was dead. She'll never talk to him again, never hear from him again. In her mind, that was the love of her life. And the world took him from her. That's what Jada Pinkett thinks about Tupac. Jada Pinkett believes that if Tupac never died, they would have been together. She would still be Tupac's wife. But instead, the world is cruel and Tupac was murdered. So she had to settle for Will Smith. How many of you brothers have a woman that's settling because the man she really loved died? The man she really loved was put to death. You think Jada Pinkett is special? You think Will Smith is special? Nah. These are people we know. These are people we grew up with. These are people that we live with every day. I know a ton of Will Smiths. I I remember growing up. When I started working and became a young man, I remember old men who I worked with that would say, "It's cheaper to keep a youngin." I wish I could go, but it's gonna cost me too much, man. It's cheaper to keep her. That's Will Smith. You wanna know why they broke up in 2016? Didn't get a divorce? Cheaper to keep her, dog. It's cheaper to keep her. It's best that she stay my wife on paper and stay with that name than for me to divorce her and she get to take half my money. She get to take half of everything I own. Nah, it's cheaper to keep her. You laugh at Will Smith and you scoff and you say, "Oh, Jada Pinkett is this and that." She's just another black woman, scarred and damaged, and nobody ever cared enough to really examine her to find out if she was worthy of choosing or not. They just saw a pretty little face, pretty body, and that's what you get. You get 30 years, 20 years later, you're Will Smith. Smacking somebody because they disrespected your woman, who is an evil, horrible, disgusting bitch. But there's nothing you can do about it. Everybody understands. Genesis 38:11. This woman had two husbands. They both died. God killed them both. Everybody understands. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, "Remain a widow at thy father's house till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also, as his brothers did." And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. So after the death of these two men, she had to go back home. She tried her life and she was married and left her parents' home and went and lived in another land, and things didn't work out. The men she was with, they both got put to death. They died. She went back to her father's house. And in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted and went up into his sheep shearers to Timnath, he and his friend Hira the Adullamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, "Behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep." And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. Now, this same woman who had married Judah's sons, who had died in their youth, she went back to her father's house. Time has passed now. Judah never came back to marry this woman off to her son. Judah never fulfilled the promise he made to her that I'm going to come back for you. I'm going to make sure there's a man for you. So after Judah's wife dies, he goes to mourn or goes to take his mind off of it. One of his partners say, "Man, let's go up to Timnath, man. We're going, chill out. Take your mind off of losing your wife, man." And the woman, Tamar, who all the neighborhood and all the, people in this town know, yeah, that's the broad that left, man. She got married. Yeah. You know her baby, both of the niggas she was with, they got killed. Yeah, man, them niggas died. She came back home. She just been here ever since. She ain't been dealing with nobody. But that void, that emptiness that's inside this woman has been there for some time. All she wanted was a man in her life. The men that the Lord delivered to her, the men that she had, they were evil men. And they died. But she was forced to deal with the trauma of their death and went back to her father's house. and that was it. She was dealt a raw deal. But she's not going to just sit and allow it to happen. But as a woman, she doesn't really have a lot of power. She doesn't have a lot of control over situations and circumstances. What she does have, though, is being a woman. So let's see what she does to get justice for what happened to her. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What will you give me that you may come in unto me? He's coming to her saying, Damn, baby, you looking good, man. What's going on with you? I'm trying to see what's up. I'm trying to get down. She like, Well, what you got for me, Big Daddy? What you know what I'm saying? You trying to get down? What's in it for me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, Will thou give me a pledge till thou send it? He's saying, Man, listen, I'm going to send for you. I'm going to send something for you. And she like, Well, listen, Big Daddy, you can't just tell me you're going to send something for me. You got to give me something to hold right now. And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet and thy bracelets and thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it her and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. Yeah. This is tricking in the Bible. This is whole. You want to know why a woman become a whore? You want to know why a woman become a prostitute? Because there's 2 dead bodies in her past. And no one has ever given her justice for them 2 boyfriends that got murdered when she was young. It's 2 men that she just knew loved her. And they died. And she was lonely and left in this cruel world alone. And she was not going to allow herself to just be a victim. So she decided to take power into her own hands. But guess what? She would not have been able to advance herself in this wickedness if there wasn't some nigga willing to participate in it with her. She dressed herself up like a whore, hid her face, trapped Judah. This is a woman whose mind is snares and nets. This is a woman whose hands are bands. But guess what, brother? You are right for the trap. You are meat for the hook. And so Judah got caught up. He said, What pledge shall I give you? She said, Baby, you're going to have to leave that signet. You're going to let me that ring. Let me get that bracelet. Let me get that staff you got. And he gave it up to her. Went and had sex. He knocked the bottom out that thing. And got her pregnant. Verse 19, and she arose and went away and laid by her veil from her and put on the garments of her widowhood. She was dressed up that day. She was dressed up for that night. But after that night, she went back to being a regular old woman. She just went back to wearing her clothes of her widowhood. She ain't trying to be seen. She ain't out there stunting and flossing and flaunting herself. She got dressed up for that one occasion to catch her a nigga slipping. Any other time, you don't really know what she got going on. Verse 20, and Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend, the Adulamite, to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, Where is the harlot that was openly by the way? And they said, There was no harlot in this place. Ain't no hoe here. Now Judah was honorable. He wanted to pay off on that trick, and he tricked off, but he wasn't no dishonorable nigga. He had that money. He sent that bread. He sent that goat. He said, Man, I need my ring. I need my bracelets. I need my staff, man. Where the hoe at? There was a hoe. I came in a few weeks ago, man. I came in a party, man. It was a hoe. And I told her I was going to send her a kid, man. We did the deal. We did the do. Where the hoe at? And like, man, ain't no hoes. We ain't got no hoes out here. We wish it was some hoes out here. So, like, I'm ad-libbing. They like, ain't no hoes in this village. And they like, nigga, you looking for the hoe? We looking for the hoe. Where's she at? Don't nobody know where this hoe is. Verse 22. And he returned to Judah and said, this is the Adulamite, came back and said, Judah, you know what I'm saying? I cannot find her. And also the men of the place that there was no harlot in that place. Ain't no hoes out there, man. They said they don't know where no hoes at. And Judah said, let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her. So Judah saying, F it then. Shit, I tried to make the deal right. I sent the kid, and the bitch don't want to make herself known. Oh well, shit. Hey, it is what it is. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, has played the harlot. And also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, bring her forth and let her be burnt. See how quick a nigga is to turn his back on a woman? See how quick a nigga is to throw a bitch under the mud and treat a woman like she ain't shit? That's why I blame you. I blame you niggas, man. You niggas are the reason why a lot of these sisters is messed up. You brothers is the reason why a lot of these bronze is destroyed and ruined. And you meet a woman knowing she destroyed and ruined, and you decide to deal with it anyway. Joke's on you. You meet a woman, don't even take the time to find out what's in her past. Find out what skeletons in her closet. You don't find out about the boyfriend she had when she was 14 and got murdered. You don't take time to find out about the drug dealer that was tricking off on her when she was 17, picking her up from school, taking her to shopping and buying things for her. That man her mama and her daddy told her not to deal with. You don't find out about that cat. But there's some nigga she dated when she was 17. That nigga went to jail. Or that nigga got shot and died. And she think about him every day, brother. You looking at Jada Pinkett like she's some horrible whore. Jada Pinkett is your woman. Thinking about some nigga from her past that she could never let go because what would her life had been like if he would have lived? And you don't even know that that's something that your woman is battling with. Why? Because you don't care. Because you don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. You're not that serious about it. Really, she's just a broad that you decided to put your penis in, and sex is marriage. So now she with me, but you're not really doing the job of a husband. You're not really doing what's necessary in order to make sure that the things that belong to you and that God says are in your possession, you're really caring for and nurturing and building up. You're just another nigga putting your penis inside of her. And you deserve everything that comes along with that. Judah found out that this woman who he had forgotten about, who he did not give a damn about, who his 2 sons had had sex with and died, he forgot about her until word came down that she was pregnant. So he found out that she had committed whoredom against his son that he had never thought to marry her to. And his response was, yeah, man, let's kill that bitch. Let's kill that hoe. Yeah, bring that bitch down here so we could burn her and teach everybody a lesson about whores. Verse 25, when she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the men whose these are, am I with child? And she said, discern, I pray thee, whose are these? The signet and bracelets and staff. And Judah acknowledged them and said, she has been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more. And it came to pass in the time of her travail that, behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass when she travailed that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, this came out first. And it came to pass as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, how hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Pharez. And afterward came out his brother that held the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was Zerah. You understand? This was a story about what lies in the past, what trauma lies in the past of a woman that chooses to be a whore. There is absolutely no excuse or no reason for a woman to be a whore. But they're only allowed to be whores because there are men out here who love them. There are men out here who would not even care to know what's in their past, care to know what dwells inside of her mind or her spirit. There are men who do not care to even know why she's so damaged or broken. All they want to do is come in unto her. There are women who feel that they have been done wrong. And because they've been done wrong, they're going to get payback on somebody, somewhere, somehow. A lot of times, brother, it's just because you was the next nigga in line. You just was the next man that decided that you wanted to try to put your penis inside of her. But Jada Pinkett is not special. Neither is Blueface's baby mama. Neither is Sukihana and Sexyy Redd. Last time I taught class, I said that I was going to show you Sukihana and Sexyy Redd in the Bible. I told you I was going to show you women wanting to go to Pound Town in the Bible. And we're going to show you that type of woman here in the Bible. Let me get Proverbs chapter 7. Proverbs chapter 7, verse 6. And this brother here in Proverbs chapter 7, verse 6, it's got to be an old head. It's got to be an OG. This is a brother who he observes what's going on in the streets. He ain't in the streets, but he watching. He see what's going on outside. And he's going to show you how much the life we're living today is the life of men and women in the Bible. We're going to hear a story about a brother of something he witnesses out of the window of his home. And there's no way that he's witnessing this from the window of his home unless he lives in a big city downtown like a New York or Washington, D.C., a place where you could watch all of this go down outside of your window. Everybody understand? Now, as I'm reading this, don't think of 3,000 years ago. Think of today, because that's what I think of when I read it. All right? Proverbs 7 and 6. For at the window of my house, I looked through my casement. He looking through the window. And I beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths, a young man, void of understanding. This is a brother who ain't got no understanding. He don't know what's going on. Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. This is a brother, yeah. You ever watch the nigga come on the block and you know this nigga he ain't from around here. And he shouldn't even be around here. If he knew what was good for him, he wouldn't be walking on this block. Exactly. He coming down the block and he go to somebody's house. And you looking out the window like this. Look at nigga, Charlene and got her another one. Look at this nigga knocking on the door. Look at this green ass nigga around here. First of all, it's gangsters and killers on this block. Brother, you could get robbed. That's right. Second of all, you're going to knock on that door. We know what's happening when you go to knock on that door. God. Verse 9. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot and subtle of heart. What does it mean to be subtle of heart? Meaning she's hiding her intentions. What's really on her mind. She talking to you, hey, big daddy, what's going on? You looking good? Oh, yeah, fella, you smell good. But she's hiding what's really in her heart. She's hiding she's flattering you on the front end. But, brother, you don't even know what's in her mind. And behold, Shalaki, verse 11, she is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. She's loud. She's stubborn. Can't nobody tell me what to do. I'm grown. I do what I want to do. Her feet abide not in her house. She's always outside, she lives in the streets. Her feet don't abide in the house. She outside. We outside, girl. Verse 12. Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. Oh, she's outside. She's in the streets. She's lying. She's hunting on the corner. Lying in wait is slang for she's hunting on the corner. Verse 13. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said, "What is an impudent face? An impudent face is like with a sure look, like, yeah, like an impudent face is like it's like a seducing face. I have peace offerings with me this day. I have paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love unto the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves. For the good man is not at home. He is gone a long journey. He hath taken a bag of money with him and will come home at the day appointed. With her much fair speech she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips she forced him. He goes after her straightway as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. Till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths, for she has cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chamber of death. Everybody understands? What is this talking about? This is talking about the women out there who are hunting for you weak, soft brothers. And she knows all she got to do is get you in that bedroom. All she got to do is talk sweet and talk smooth and smile and laugh at your goofy jokes and giggle and compliment you. And she know you're going to come up off them drawers. And once you come up off them drawers, she got you. Especially you brothers in the truth. You are in the truth. And I know you brothers, you not meeting these women and not telling them you in the truth. You gonna go meet some woman from in the world. Tell her you in the truth. Tell her sex is marriage. Tell her if I have sex with you, then you my woman for the rest of my life. You're gonna invite her to class, have her watch Gentleman I'm in class. You're gonna do all of this, and then you're gonna have sex with her. All you're doing is laying a trap for yourself and then inviting the woman to ruin you. See, you came into the truth. And because you came into the truth, you think that you can save everybody. Or you think that you can save every woman you put your penis inside of. You don't know, brother, that there are predators in these streets. There are Jezebels in the world. And they have been done wrong. They have been dealt a raw deal. And just because you feel like you care and feel like you can love and feel like you can give her the type of leadership and guidance and correction that she needs, doesn't mean that the Lord is with you. A lot of you brothers are letting Satan set you up, believing that trying to love a woman who only deserves to be healed is honorable. And there is no honor in that. There is no honor in having sex with a whore and pretending that it's a fair deal because what, you sent the goat? You think you Judah. You meet this woman, she's a hoe. She's a whore. You know she's a whore. But hey, I'm gonna be honorable. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell her the truth. So you think that makes it okay? Lord be with you. Lord be with these sisters. Because Without the knowledge of the Most High in Christ, without the truth in ISUPK, this is our life. This is what we're dealing with. And it ain't special. It ain't unique. It ain't. Jada Pinkett ain't super evil or super wicked. She's just a regular bitch. Excuse my language. Jada Pinkett is a regular bitch. She thought she was bad. She had niggas on her line. Niggas like Tupac, all the celebrity niggas was hitting her, knocking her off. The one she really loved died. And so she married a safe option in Will Smith. But Will Smith is not the safe option guys are not good guys. Yeah. They're liars. They pretend as though I'm loving and caring, but really they're having sex with every woman they can get their hands on out of both jaw legs. They're buying prostitutes because in the mind of a man like Will Smith, it's better to buy a prostitute and have no strings attached than to meet a woman and fall in love with her and have a second wife. Yeah. There are men out here who say having multiple wives is evil, but they'll buy all the sex that they can. They'll prostitute with any woman. My feelings wasn't attached. I didn't care about her. That was just sex. But what about the woman who's a whore? What about the woman who's taking money for sex? What about her and her past? What about her pain? What about her trauma? What about the reason why she's out here tricking in the first place? Nobody cares to ask about them. Nobody cares to inquire about their pain or their hurt. And in a generation, you have Sukihana and Sexyy Redd. All of us know Sukihana and Sexyy Redd are the victims and the products of rape and molestation. They're the victims and the products of neglect and abuse. They're the victims and the product of being taught that being a whore is acceptable. When that's not who we are. That's not what God made us to be. But if we don't never take the time to love one another enough to care beyond what we can get from one another physically, then we get exactly what we deserve. The spirit of Jezebel is alive and well in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community, and it's allowed to continue to thrive because the men of our nation have not taken a stand against that spirit. Let me get one more scripture I'm trying to get before we close the class out. Let's get hold up. Get 2 Kings chapter 9. 2 Kings chapter 9 verse 2 Kings chapter 9 verse 22. It says, and it came to pass when Joram saw Jehu that he said, is it peace, Jehu? And he answered, what peace? So long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and her witchcrafts are so many. And Joram turned his hands and fled and said to Ahaziah, there is treachery, O Ahaziah. And Jehu drew a bow with his full strength and smote Joram between his arms, and the arrow went out at his heart, and he sunk down in his chariot. All right, hold up. Salak. Hold on. Hold on. You know, I can't. I ain't got the end of it. Trying to get to the crux of Jezebel and her wickedness against Israel. we're going to say that for another class, man. Good scripture to close out with. Man, give me in the Apocrypha. Get Ecclesiasticus 25. Ecclesiasticus 25. Hold on. Get Ecclesiasticus 26 and 23. That's the last one. All right. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 23 says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. Everybody understands? A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. And that's just the reality of it. Wicked woman, she's given to a wicked man. So guess what? You, a brother, find yourself with a wicked woman, take some accountability. Look in the mirror at yourself, examine yourself, and ask yourself, what is it inside of me that desired to have this wicked woman? Why did I choose this wicked woman? So I was getting to know her and I met her. What inside of me said, it'll be all right. It'll be okay. Don't cry now. Don't be miserable now. Don't hate her now. Take some responsibility for yourself and for your actions. Take some accountability and acknowledge the reason why you have this horrible woman in your life doing these horrible things to you is because it's exactly what you wanted. It's exactly what you attracted. That's exactly what you brought into yourself. I don't feel bad for Will Smith. I don't feel bad for Blueface. I don't feel bad for, uh, the baby daddies of Sukihanas and the Sexyy Redds. I don't feel bad for Tory Lanez. I feel bad for none of them niggas. Because you get exactly what you bargained for. Maybe you'll take dealing with the daughters of Zion seriously. Maybe you'll take some of these, the horrors and the traumas and the tragedies that these sisters have been through seriously. Maybe you'll start to really take some time to consider a woman and get to know her and to find out what's in her past before you go putting your penis inside of her, because a lot of these women are unfit to be sexually active. They're unfit to receive another man. They're unfit to take on another spirit. Maybe they just need some counsel. Maybe they just need some guidance and some leadership. Maybe they just need somebody who cares enough about them to talk to them and to hear them and to help them without trying to put a penis inside of them. With that, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. Since 1969, we've been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. In the year 2023, there's nothing more important than for God's chosen people to find out the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is on the earth. We have classes from 6 to 8 p.m. every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday here in Memphis. The address to the school is 3000 Walnut Grove Road, Suite 215. Again, 3000 Walnut Grove Road, Suite 215. The call-in number to the school is 901-249-0085. 901-249-0085. All you brothers and sisters and tuning in, you got family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas. Send them into the school. With that, see y'all tomorrow for class. Israel. Shalom.